guys, good evening or good morning. It is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur, coming at you for our Wednesday show. So, welcome everyone. Whether you're here at 12:27 a.m., whether you're here at 12:27 in the afternoon, or maybe you're here at 6 a.m. or 6 p.m., or perhaps maybe 4 a.m. or 4 p.m. It doesn't matter. Thank you so much for being here. Really do appreciate that. Do check out believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations that'll help motivate and empower your life. All right, guys, let's get right into the motivational topic. So the master topic, you already know what that is. Our life is like film, right? And many of you remember 35 millimeter film and different types of film. Do you guys remember that? So what were, let's say, the different types of film besides 35 millimeters? And remember what the different types of film were? So there were a lot of different types of film formats. 35 millimeter was obviously a very popular format. They had some, different speeds. They had 135 millimeter film, which was standard, developed, and it was made at Thomas and A. Edison's New Jersey lab. You had the 126 film roll made for film with 35 millimeter with and paper backing. Kodak brought that to life. And the 828 film debuted in 1935. And that was serving as a paperback 35 millimeter roll film. And the spool was comparably smaller diameter, suited for small cameras, quite well. There's the medium format. There was the 120. There was also the 220. It was introduced with the same width as the 120, but the double in length, meaning there was twice as many exposures per film roll. So 220 film does not use backing paper behind the film. Instead, a leader and trailer for light protection were incorporated. So without the backing paper, it cannot be used on cameras lacking the red window that served as a frame number marking the indicator. There's the 620 film. The 620 film came around in 1931. It was introduced by Kodak as the potential alternative to the 120 roll. Then, of course, you had the large format film for image sizes like 4x5 or larger in comparison to its 15 times the area of a 35 millimeter. And the biggest advantage of large format is the high resolution using larger pixels made images sharper without having to enlarge it. And the most common sizes for that were 4x5, 5x7, and 8x10. Of course, there was the 116 by Easton Kodak, introduced the two negative file formats, 116 and 616 roll. There was the 127, and then there was also the 110, introduced in 1972 by Kodak as the miniature version of the earlier 126. I remember one of my cameras used the 110 film. It was like the little thing that popped it in, and it was just so easy. It was real easy. You didn't have to load the camera. So that was a real simple thing. Then there was APS film. Okay, so we had that. So just kind of giving you guys a little history about film. So today's master granular topic is Radiate Positivity. It's the gateway to infinite opportunities. We're on series 3, which means we're in the third year, show 15, episode number 5. So let's talk about the first thing, which is energize ourselves with positivity. Okay? And that's something I think that's really remarkable. So when we have a positive mindset, we can shift our energy, leading to greater clarity, enthusiasm, and resilience just by changing our mind for just one moment. Okay? And when we do this, it's like clarity pops up, enthusiasm is there, and again, resilience is there. So these are really, really cool things. People always say to me, John, how do you energize with positivity? Well, there's a couple ways. One is to change your thought pattern. What are you thinking about right now? Is it affecting you? Is it making you feel negative? Well, stop thinking about that, right? Think about something else. And I know whenever I tell you to stop, you won't. So just think about something else. Think about some great moments in your life, right? There was an amazing person who had a great quote, and he said, great moments are born from great opportunity, right? And that's what we have here tonight, boys. That's what you've earned here tonight. One game. If we played them 10 times, they might win 9. but not this game, not tonight. Tonight we skate with them. Tonight we stay with them and we shut them down because we can. Tonight we're the greatest hockey team in the world. You were born to be hockey players, every one of you. And you were meant to be here tonight. This is your time. Their time is done. It's over. And I'm sick and tired of hearing about what a great hockey team the Soviets have. This is your time. Now go out there and take it. Now you're probably wondering, wow, that was given by Herb Brooks in the 2004 movie Miracle Right Before the USA National Hockey Team played the Soviet Union national hockey team in the 1980 Lake Placid Olympics. That was pretty remarkable. So now that we know that our thoughts can engage us in a positive way, it can give us resilience. I was talking about a situation the other day that we had during our move situation we had, and there were some challenges that happened, but I embraced them. I said, well, gee, what can we do? Now, today we had another challenge. The challenge was the guys got there, and the U-Haul company decided that they were going to move the truck in the middle of the night. Why, I don't know. When they moved the truck, they left the lights on. Then they tried to get a jump, and the truck would not start. But then made matters fun, the person that I counted on to help just decided to just abandon ship. So you could look at that as a negative thing, but I look at it as a positive. Like, I learned that that's not somebody who should be on my ship. That's not somebody who should be making a difference, because they really can't make the difference. All right. That's probably the best thing that I'll tell you. But we work with what we have and we move forward. See, we work with what we have and we move forward. Right. Embrace a positive mindset, and it'll shift you into a complete 180. You're like, wow, I can't believe I'm doing that. Like, where am I getting that inspiration from? You'll just find that your path opens up. The next point I want to talk about is really important: inviting opportunities. So maybe we have connections between positivity and now noticing that doors in our life start to open. Not just ajar, but they start to open wide, giving our lives almost this new found liberating freedom that facilitates new experiences, connections, and pathways that will permeate us toward success. That's pretty cool, right? That's pretty cool. I think a lot of people don't find success because somebody else gave up. And that mentor is actually putting their thoughts, their feelings, the way they went through. And it's stifling the creativity. It's stifling the positivity that other people could have. And they don't mean to be like this, but they're this way for one reason: because they feel that everything's a waste of time. But it's not a waste of time. It's not. The reason it's not a waste of time is because everyone is their own person. Everyone has their own likes, their own dislikes. And the other day when we were having this challenge with the truck, and no one could seem to get, the rock out of the pillar. I'm being facetious here, just as like a terminology. I looked at it and I said, well, gee, what can we do? So when we look at a challenge or we look at a problem, we say, hey, what can we do? What can we do? What is one thing we can do? What is one change we can make in our lives? What's that change? And if you don't know what the change is, then do you know where you can start? Well, John, I have no idea where to start. Okay. Maybe you don't know where to start. but maybe you have an idea of what you could do. So I did the thing I said to you, ask, what would it look like? What would it feel like? And operate from that premise. I think a lot of us get bogged down because we look at the end goal, the end reign, the end promise. I'm like, how am I ever going to get there? Let's just worry about taking the first step. Now, when I do running, and sometimes running is challenging, the most important thing is just taking the next breath, taking the next step. Don't worry about the millionth step. Don't worry about that. Just take the next step, right? And as you do become positive, you start to see that you invite opportunity because your mind, eyes, ears, okay, become aware of things. Most people miss success because they're negative. Let me say this again. Most people miss success because they're negative and don't see the opportunities. Right? Maybe you missed an opportunity. Okay, great. Get over it. Get over it and move forward. The last point I want to talk about tonight is challenges as lessons. There is power in practice, and especially the reframing of challenges as opportunities for growth and for self-discovery. Let's take a look at some of these. Maybe you were at a job and maybe you quit or they fired you. You're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Look at that as a blessing because there are no accidents in this world. And the older I get, I start to realize that there are no accidents. They may not be exactly what I want at the moment, but they do evolve for the greater good of all concerned. You just have to realize that you have to get closer to your dreams each day. If you don't get to them tomorrow, it's okay. But get a little bit closer. And we get a little bit closer, it's like we start to develop more hope. And I know hope isn't easy because people around you, they say things, it's like they're stepping on you physically, but they're not. They're stepping on you proverbially. They're stepping on you emotionally and hurting you emotionally. You might have heard the phrase before, sticks and stones may hurt my bones, right? But words will never harm me. That's the truth. But a lot of people don't adapt to that. They understand that sticks and stones maybe don't hurt their bones, but the words are empowering to lock us into a position. Now, it's a mindset, ladies and gentlemen. So if you have a mindset that says, this is what I'm going to be, this is what's going to happen to me, then you're putting that message into your life. You're putting that message into your life. You're putting that message into your life. And if that message becomes autonomous, it becomes like it just fires at will. Your brain doesn't even think about what's happening. It operates on autopilot. We call it a habit. Now, some habits are good, some habits are bad. But if we've developed a habit that doesn't help us get where we want to be, we need to realize that we have to change that habit. We have to change that mindset. We have to change that belief. We have to change that way of thinking. And I know one of the hardest things you can do is being around your friends and them saying to you, oh, you're never going to do this. And the bad thing, you believe them. You believe them. Why? Maybe you think that they're there because they want to support you. I always said this one thing. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And if your friend is not part or even a supporter to you, then they're a hindrance. If the people you hang around don't help you, then they're part of the problem. I think a lot of people don't want to play the blame game, and I'm not here to play the blame game. I'm here to play the accountability game. So if you're doing something and you can't get somewhere because of someone else, don't have a pity party. Resolve the situation. Move forward. All right? And what I like to tell people a lot of times, if something's not going the right way, I say, look, it's not personal. It's just business. You can do that in business. But what if it happens in your personal life? You could say, hey, I like you, but I can't be around someone with your negative energy. A lot of people will open their eyes like, what the, that's just going to happen. So radiating positivity, the gateway to infinite opportunity. So where I want to close tonight, because I think it's really important, how do we radiate positivity? How do we do that? I want to close on this note tonight because it's a great note to close on. There are a lot of ways we can radiate positivity. I'm going to share a few with you tonight. All right. Smile. Practice gratitude. Take care of yourself. Maybe it's going to a movie, it's going to a restaurant. Treat yourself. Meditate. Be compassionate to yourself. Take up a new hobby. Be kind to strangers. Visualize your reality. Forgive. Listen. Live in the present moment. Spend time in nature. That is so priceless. Say positive affirmations, but don't just say them, feel them. Think positive thoughts about others, and positive thoughts will resonate back to you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's been a privilege, pleasure, and honor to be with you this fantastic evening. Please do like, love, and support all my channels. Go to believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. And please be sure to like and follow TikTok so we can get more subscribers so we can eventually stream live there too. I hope you guys have a fantastic evening, and I'll catch you guys later tonight.